The morning light slowly slips through your window. It's soft, golden, and gentle, like a quiet reminder that life begins again every single day. You pour yourself a cup of coffee. The smell fills the air, warm, familiar, comforting. For a few seconds, you just stand there holding the cup, watching the little swirls of steam rise and dance. And maybe that's all you need to start. A small, beautiful moment that says, "Hey, today is new. You get another chance." Sometimes, happiness doesn't arrive with fireworks or grand events. It shows up quietly, in the calm of a morning, in a deep breath, in the warmth of that first sip. Every sunrise is a soft reset button. No matter what happened yesterday, the missed chances, the worries, the noise, today's light doesn't care. It simply invites you to begin again. We often think happiness comes from big things, a dream job, a perfect plan, or a big adventure. But the truth is, most of our joy hides in the little rituals we repeat every day, like the soft click of the coffee machine in the morning, the quiet hum of a kettle, the sound of birds outside your window. Tiny details that quietly tell you, life is happening, right here, right now. When you take that first sip of coffee, you're not just drinking caffeine. You're giving yourself a moment to slow down, to breathe, to be present. And maybe you play your favorite song while you drink. Maybe sunlight touches your face for a second, or you scroll through old pictures that make you smile. These moments seem so small, but they hold a quiet kind of magic, the kind that says, you're allowed to enjoy the simple things. It doesn't matter if the world feels messy. It doesn't matter if you don't have everything figured out yet. You can still find peace in something as ordinary as a morning routine. There's beauty in doing something just for yourself, not for results, not for anyone else to see, but simply because it makes your heart feel light. So keep your small rituals. Make them sacred. Your cup of coffee, your walk outside, your quiet moment before the day starts. They are not just little things. They are the gentle threads that hold your days together. And one day when you look back, you might realize that these small rituals were the ones that made your life feel warm all along. And maybe that's the secret. It's never really about the coffee itself, but about what it represents. It's the few quiet minutes that belong completely to you. Before messages start coming in, before the world asks you to hurry. It's the gentle space where you get to breathe, without needing to be anyone or do anything. Maybe you're sitting by the window, watching the city slowly wake up. The streetlights turn off, the first few people pass by, some with sleepy eyes, some already smiling, and somehow, just watching them reminds you, we're all trying our best, in our own little ways. You take another sip. The taste feels familiar, grounding. It's like saying hello to yourself again. These small moments are easy to overlook, but they're the ones that shape how you carry the rest of your day. Because when you start your morning with gentleness, you move through life with more ease. You speak softer. You listen better. You notice things, like the warmth of the sun on your skin, or how the air smells a bit like new beginnings. And maybe that's what self-care truly means. Not expensive routines or perfect plans, but being kind to yourself in the simplest ways. So keep that space. Keep that tiny ritual that helps you feel whole. Because every peaceful morning is a quiet message from the universe, whispering, you don't have to rush. You're already where you need to be. Maybe this is what growing gently looks like, not running faster, but noticing more. Noticing how the sunlight paints little gold spots on the table, how the steam from your mug curls up like a tiny cloud, how the world feels a little softer when you slow down to look at it. You realize that peace isn't something you chase. It's something you create, moment by moment, with your attention, your breath, your kindness. When you sit there with your coffee, you start to remember all the little things that make life beautiful. The people who texted you, "Good morning," the song that always lifts your mood, the laughter from last weekend, the way your pet curls up beside you like you're home. And you think, maybe that's enough. Maybe life doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. Maybe it's already full of quiet miracles waiting to be noticed. The world tries to tell us that happiness is out there, somewhere far away after we've achieved something. But happiness often sits right here, next to your coffee, in the gentle rhythm of an ordinary day. When you start your morning with gratitude, you see everything differently. Even the smallest thing, the sound of rain, the smile from a stranger, the softness of your blanket, feels like a gift. And gratitude has this quiet magic. It turns ordinary moments into something golden. It doesn't change what you have, but it changes how you see what you have. So before you rush into your day, pause, take one more sip, and whisper to yourself, "Thank you. Thank you for the light. Thank you for the warmth. Thank you for another chance to begin." Maybe in the end, that's what mornings are truly for, not to rush into the day, but to remember what matters. Your little rituals, they are more than just routines. They're quiet love notes to yourself. They say, "I care about me. I want to start gently." They don't fix everything. They don't erase the chaos or the noise outside, but they remind you that you still have control over how you begin. A warm cup, a deep breath, a few minutes of calm. That's how you tell your heart, it's safe to open up again. And somehow the rest of the day feels lighter. You smile a bit easier. You handle things with more grace because you started from a place of peace. So never underestimate these small beginnings. They might not look like much, but they are where your strength quietly grows. The world outside might still spin fast, but inside, you have your little island of calm. And that, my friend, is how you make life a little sweeter. One gentle morning at a time. Coffee leaf. There's something quietly magical about a smile. It's small, it's simple, and yet it has the power to shift everything. You smile at a stranger on the street and suddenly the world feels a little softer. You smile at yourself in the mirror and you remember that you're still here, still trying, still growing. A smile doesn't always mean everything's perfect. Sometimes it's just a whisper to the world that says, "I'm choosing hope anyway," because there are days when smiling takes courage. When you wake up tired, uncertain, maybe even a little lost, and yet you still find it in you to smile. That, right there, is strength. The truth is, smiles carry quiet messages. They say, "I'm thankful. I'm healing. I'm still open to joy." And that energy, it spreads. You smile at someone, they smile back. And without even knowing, you've made the world a little lighter, a little warmer. We never really know how much a single smile can mean to someone. It might be the only kind thing they see all day. It might remind them that people can still be gentle. And sometimes a smile isn't about others. It's about softening yourself. It's saying to your heart, "You're doing okay." You don't have to be perfect to be kind. When you smile, your shoulders relax a little. Your thoughts slow down. You start noticing good things again, like the laughter in a cafe, or the way the sun hits the pavement, or how someone holds the door open for you. That's how joy sneaks back in, through the smallest cracks, through the quiet moments, through something as simple as a smile. And the beautiful thing is, you can always give one, even when you feel you don't have much left to give. Because smiling doesn't take away your pain, but it creates a little space for light to enter. And maybe that's all you need to start healing. So today, smile. At the barista, at your coworker, at the stranger who looks tired, at the sky that feels too gray. And don't forget to smile at yourself too, because you've made it this far. Because you're learning how to begin again. Because even on your hardest days, you still choose to look for light. Your smile, that simple, gentle curve, it's proof that you haven't given up on joy. And maybe that's what makes the world keep turning. Have you ever noticed how kindness travels, quietly, invisibly, like ripples in water after you drop a single pebble? One smile, one gentle word, one simple act of warmth, and suddenly that energy moves. It touches people you'll never meet, in ways you'll never know. Maybe your smile makes someone's morning a little easier. Maybe they carry that feeling and pass it on. To a coworker, to a friend, to someone who really needed it. It's strange, isn't it? How something so small can travel so far. The world doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes it just needs people who choose to be kind even when no one's watching. And that's what your smile does. It tells the world, there's still good here. It says, I believe in gentle things. It reminds people and yourself that light still exists, even in quiet corners. We live in a world that often feels rushed, where everyone's running somewhere, where faces blur and hearts forget to pause. But your smile, it's a moment of pause. It's a reminder that softness still matters. You never really know the battles people are fighting. Sometimes the smallest kindness can make them feel seen again. Maybe that's the real miracle, not fixing everything, but reminding someone they're not alone. And here's something beautiful to remember. When you make others feel lighter, you become lighter too. Kindness is the one thing that multiplies every time you share it. So keep smiling, not because life is perfect, but because you've learned to find light, even when it's dim. And maybe, somewhere out there, someone sees your smile and decides to keep going too. That's how change begins. Not in loud revolutions, but in quiet moments of love shared between ordinary hearts. There's something comforting about mornings. No matter what happened yesterday, the sun still rises, quietly, faithfully, as if to say, you get another chance. Every day is a small beginning, not a restart of the whole world, but a gentle invitation to try again, to see things differently, to soften where you once felt hard. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to rush into greatness. Sometimes the most beautiful beginnings come dressed in ordinary clothes, like a quiet walk, a soft breath, a single brave decision to keep moving forward. We often think new beginnings must be loud, a big change, a big dream, a dramatic turn. But most of the time, they start quietly in small moments when your heart whispers, "This time, I'll try again." It can be as simple as forgiving yourself for what didn't work, or choosing to believe that something better is still possible, or just waking up and deciding to smile again, even when nothing has changed yet. That's the secret. You don't have to wait for the world to give you permission to begin. You can start right here, exactly where you are. Because life isn't a straight road. It's full of pauses, turns, and second chances. And sometimes, the days that look ordinary are the ones that quietly shift everything inside you. You may not see the progress right away. Growth doesn't always make noise, but every little act of hope, every choice to keep showing up, is building something inside you. So if today feels slow, if your plans fall apart, if your heart feels unsure, breathe. You're not behind. You're simply being human. Let today be a soft beginning, not because it's perfect, but because you're here, awake, aware, and willing to start again. Take that step, write that message, open that window, drink that coffee, smile, not because you must, but because you can. The world is full of new beginnings waiting for your yes. And even when you fall, the sunrise will keep coming back, patient, forgiving, ready to light your way again. So here's to today. To every try, every small step, every quiet restart. You don't need to be ready. You just need to begin. And maybe that's all we really need, a warm sip, a soft smile, and a little bit of courage to begin again. Because life doesn't always need to be loud or perfect. Sometimes it just needs to be honest. So as you step into your day, carry this feeling with you. The calm, the kindness, the quiet joy that comes from simply being here. The world feels new again. Not because everything changed, but because you did. Here's to soft mornings, to slow starts, and to finding beauty in the simplest things. Take your time, smile often, and remember, every sunrise is a gentle invitation to grow again,